Is it on Facebook now?
Yeah, now I want to share. It's not going to show like this. It's live on YouTube right now, you guys. But this one, I'm trying to figure out. Um,
You can share maybe the YouTube to Facebook.
Yes, share the link, the YouTube link to Facebook.
okay, good idea. Okay, so let me do this then. I'm going to finish this one. I don't know if it's gone because I can't see anyone there. Let me check. Edson, how did we do it last time?
I don't know because you always use this StreamYard, like
Okay.
Zoom. I think is
Oh,
much.
okay. It's actually on. Zoom is easy. I don't
Yeah,
know
me,
why
I
I
use
can't set
Zoom.
up
So
Zoom.
Zoom, it's easy. You can share straightforward. So I don't know this StreamYard thing, and it's
Okay,
very
I'm
new to me.
sharing to you guys. Okay, I'm sharing to you. Okay, then I'm sharing. I'll share to you, then you share to your own. So I'm going to say, Patricia, I've sent for you. James, I have. And I think, okay. Eddie, I have sent to you also. I should have done it better with Facebook. Okay. So without wasting time, let me. So without wasting time,
I can see the YouTube one.
yeah. Now I want to go to.
I can see the YouTube one.
I'll do like this because yeah. Now I want to delete and then. Okay, guys. I know I'll have a little bit of feedback. Good morning, good afternoon. Um, just a minute, guys. This is so bad. Delete this one, yes. Okay. I don't know. So, hi guys, how's everybody? Hi Faye, good to see you. Good to see you. How are you doing? So, you're welcome. So, hi everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I don't know where you're watching us from. So, my name is Chibe Shay, and welcome to my live stream. I have with me some people, some wonderful people joining me today. So, as you can see from the topic, we're discussing mental health. And before we just get into details, I would ask you guys to introduce yourselves. So, I have two gentlemen and a lady in the building. So, guys, we can take it up. We can pick it up from there. Since you can't see, I'll be able to tell you what's going on in the screen from there and from Facebook. And I have to apologize for Facebook people. It is, we couldn't do it better. So this is all you can see for now. The audios are okay. You can hear us okay. The images you can see are these right here in front of me. So I'll let you guys go. Who's starting? Who's ready to start? You can do your introductions. Over to you guys. Is it
Lady first.
the ladies first or? Okay, so ladies first.
Okay, hi, my name is Chishimba Kachasa. I am a writer of a blog of short stories called Here's to Medals. I am a lawyer practicing in Zambia. I've been practicing for the past, I think almost 7 or 8 years now. These days I forget.
Oh, wow.
I consider myself, I think, an advocate of mental health and mental health awareness in Zambia, and that's probably why I'm here on this panel this evening.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm James Mwanza.
That's from the lady.
Okay, I'm James Mwanza. I'm the healthcare worker from Zambia, and I think for me, as Shimba is saying, she's saying like 8 years. I think I've been practicing for the past 13 years now. So I think that's how far I've been. I think I've mingled with a number of people. Of course, I've also been writing something. I've written a number of scripts and the different documents on mental health, and it's something that is I have passion for, and that's the reason why I'm also here.
Okay. Hey everyone,
Okay,
my name is
Edson
Chipalo. I am based in the United States. I am currently doing my PhD at the University of Alabama, and my research focus is on mental health, with a focus on refugees and immigrants, as well as mental health disparities and health disparities in low and middle income countries, which include Africa and some Asian and South American countries. So I've also worked in mental health. When I graduated with my master's degree, I worked in Alaska as a mental health clinician and a consultant at the hospital. So I have some expertise in mental health, and my focus is on trauma.
Great. So we have a very wonderful panel, guys. As you can hear for yourselves, this place is rich right now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get right into it, guys. We have seen just how situations have been of late, like in our country. A lot of things, a lot of issues are coming up because of this problem. Actually, before we can go further, we have to define what it is. What are we talking about? What is mental health? What is it?
Oh, can I start with that?
Like I was saying, yeah, you can pick it up.
Maybe someone can start, Anyone?
No,
since you are the PhD.
No, you can. Whoever is ready. I'm trying to still figure out.
This conversation is not about who knows what. It's about the sharing.
Okay, let me give it a shot.
Different experiences, whatever. So it's not that I'm a PhD. I know everything. No, yeah. So
exactly.
Yeah, so this is the normal conversation. We are not in the class, where you expect that the student should, you should give answers to the student. So for me, let's begin with defining mental health. Yeah, and most of the time, some people maybe they don't understand what mental health is. So, what is mental health? So, first of all, I want to give you the definition that is universally known and which is defined by the World Health Organization. And once we have that definition, and then we can kind of, like also like redefine it in a simple language where everyone can understand it. So now, what is mental health? When we talk about mental health, it is simply a state of well-being in which the individual realizes his or her own abilities, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. So that is a complex definition of mental health. So under this definition, there are three components of this definition. So one, we are talking about well-being. What does it mean to be, to have that well-being? Well-being characterizes an individual experiences, about our own personal life experiences, how we feel, act, or perceive a situation. And then the second component of this definition, we are talking about the effective functioning of an individual. How do we respond to the society? How do we interact with the people within our society? You see, there's that interaction. There's the world being about you, and then there's that interaction. How do you interact? And then not only that, there is what is called effective functioning for a community. You see? So here you have yourself. Here we have let's say where I am with you guys, that's interacting with the individuals. And then there's a community. So based on this, that is how mental health is defined. So in short, we can simply say mental health is the state of well-being. And under this definition, the mental health includes the subjective well-being, because what we say the well-being is subjective. It's not objective, but it becomes objective to other people when they begin to see the particular behavior patterns that do not that do not commensurate with what a normal individual would expect to function in a society. And then we have what is called the perceived efficacy, autonomy, competency, and intergenerational dependence and self-actualization of one's intellectual and emotional potential, and among other things. So this is what define mental health so in short, we are just saying that mental health is simply the state of well-being. So this means it affects how we think, how we feel, and act as we cope with life situations. It also helps us how we can handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. So mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence and adulthood and aging as well. So that is a short definition of mental health, like in a bigger perspective.
Yeah, thank you, Eddie. That is a well said definition. I want just to say something. I think you've really put it well, and I don't think there is any better way you can put it to help. But I just want to give some examples. And like you said people, they have to have a well-being in which they're able to deal with normal life stresses. They are supposed to be productive on a daily basis. In this, I mean, for example, when you say someone, we talk about someone having a mental health, we are referring to when you wake up in the morning, you are able to comprehend with the normal activities of daily living. You are able to attend to all of them, and you are able to go for work. You are able to function properly. You are supposed to you're not going to fail to meet deadlines. All those things, you won't fail to do them because you are having a well-being, and all the stresses that the life is bringing upon you, you are able to cope with them, and you're able to still remain productive despite the challenges that you're facing. Because many the time when you find someone, because you become slower than you are if your mind, or you're not stable at that particular time, or I would say you are not well. So that is what I would want to just add.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think we probably cannot have a discussion of mental health without the discussion on life events and stimuli, because I think I think that is what will that reaction to life and stimuli is what would then cause us for you to move from your state of well-being into having mental health issues. So I think response to stimuli is also a conversation that we cannot ignore when we speak about mental health.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So right now, we were trying to give just like what is mental health, and when an individual
exactly, we have to break it down. So
when an individual cannot
so people can really understand. Yeah.
Then
because a lot of people a lot of people, I'll have to interject. A lot of people don't know what mental health is. That is why they associate it with madness. Okay, so that's why it's really very important for us to break it down in simple terms what it is, like you guys have already stated. Okay, it's simple as that. So unless you guys had something else to add, then we can move on.
Charity,
is there anything that we have left out?
Charity, just to respond to what you've said, these are two different things. When Edson was defining, he was defining mental health. So there is a difference between mental health and mental illness. So the one that people always refer to as madness or whatsoever, it's mental illness, which is very different from mental health. These are not the same things. These are two different elements. So I know Edson was going to speak at some point that he was going to differentiate, so that you don't go to mental illness before you know what mental health is. First, we deal with the mental health. This is a normal function, the normal physiology, the normal functioning of your mental faculties. When they are able to function normally, then whenever there is any disruption in the way the faculties are functioning, then we talk about mental illness. So whatever we've been defining is simply mental health. Just like the way we define what is health.
Mental health, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I wanted to do, because we didn't want us not to go to say, okay, mental illness.
Right.
It's important to understand.
So, guys, thank you so much for those of you that are joining in. Keeping up, thank you, Jessica, Ivan, Favor. You guys are all welcome. I have a wonderful panel. Just jot down your questions. I'll ask you to start asking questions soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, we can actually go ahead. Yeah. So, how if I may ask, do we all suffer from mental health?
Sorry, just repeat the question.
Do we all have, or do we all go through mental health, or I'm just following up your definition. So I'm asking now to say, do we all at some point suffer from mental health, or how best can did you get it?
In the same way that physical health and financial health and all the health considerations are a part of us, mental health equally is part of everybody's well-being. So I don't can say, do we all suffer from mental health, but we all have a mental health that we must have cognizance. It is a part of all of us. One of the things that Edson talked about is being able
to. Okay.
So
I don't know. Yeah, I know.
So I think the best
like mental health, like you said, is just like health. Health in check. Yeah, I think I needed to say, is it possible for anybody to go through a crisis?
No, I think you wanted to ask, do we all suffer from mental illness? It's different. Mental illness and mental health, these are two different problems.
Yeah, so I think the best way we can ask the question is, do we all encounter
mental illness? Yeah, mental illness.
No, in fact, mental health challenges.
Yes.
Because
so that is a different phase now.
We just we take care of our bodies. We are. Yeah, I think I was still a bit confused. I wanted to say, of course.
Oh, I think
challenges. Yes, that's it.
It seems like the life, it's kind of like very behind, like, because hello.
Edson, I can get you.
Is the connection all right? Am I?
Yeah, I think probably the connection is very slow, because I think we are kind of like differing the way we are talking.
Guys, is the connection okay?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Hello. Okay, who's going next?
Yeah, I don't know if the connection is right. Yes.
Hello.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you.
Edson, I think you were explaining the point about, do we all go through
okay, so maybe we have to sorry about my we have to talk. Each person, I give you a chance to talk, or if you have something to talk. So basically, my question was mental challenges. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Everyone, can encounter mental challenges at any point in life. And
Eddie, can you hear me now? Everybody can hear me now? Yeah, we were actually rephrasing the question was, do we all go through mental challenges? Do we all at some point go through mental challenges? That was the question. So, Eddie, you were about to take it up. So can you take it up, and then whoever will have something to say can come after you are done. Don't start the
okay. So as I was saying that every individual, regardless of whether you are rich, poor.
Okay, is that okay? So why I asked is because we put these certain people in a certain corner. The thing is this, like Chimba said, mental health is just supposed to be taken care of as we take care of our bodies and everything else.
Eddie, I think you were speaking.
Oh yeah, I think it's like the connection is very slow. That's what I'm observing. It's like
I
when
don't know
I'm
what's
talking.
wrong with the network. I don't know if it's from my end or from your end, guys.
Can hear each other quite well, but you have a delay.
Yeah, there is a kind of like a
I don't
delay.
know what's going on. Mhm.
There's a delay, because like each time I start like speaking, and then like it seems like now Charity
Okay.
is like that's when she's coming up. You see, so
Mhm.
yeah, there's like a delayed
Okay,
conversation.
so let me see what we're going to do. We're all going to mute our mic. Can we all mute our mic so that whoever is talking can unmute? Maybe that can help.
Eddie,
Hello. Okay, can you all hear me? If you can hear me, just say do like this. Okay. So as I was saying that it's important also like to kind of like use the language that does not discriminate people or that have a negative connotation. So most of the time when we say mental illness, even here in the United States, has got a negative connotation because it implies that someone is impaired, mentally, you are unable to function in society. But that's not the truth. So when we are talking to people, we have to really tell the people that they are facing mental health challenges. You see? So this book, if you have seen, this is like a Bible of mental health. I have started this book for about, I don't know, like how many, I don't know, 8 years, So it's like the Bible or the language of mental health. It kind of give you all the kind of mental health challenges that exist in the society. It has got about 500 mental health disorders, of different kinds, types, from different cultures and societies. So when we are talking about mental health, we all encounter mental health because we all face challenges, and these challenges might be, for instance, James, you might, let's say you lose a job. It could be we also like lose our beloved ones, due to death, or someone is sick, your child is sick, maybe your child, you have to send your nephew to school, and all these like family pressures on you. You see, so all those things can cause mental health challenges. And the other aspect, it also may be the job. Maybe you are working too much. It could be over exercising. Some of us, who are marathon runners, maybe you are over exercising, or let me say workout. All those factors, combined together, they can bring different mental health challenges. So it could be also be marriage. You are fighting, maybe with your husband, and there are so many ways people can encounter mental health challenges. So those are just some of the ways. But when we talk about mental illness is kind of different, because it comes for you to be diagnosed with mental illness. You have to meet certain criteria. You see? So when we talk about these mental illnesses, now we are talking about what I would call, it refers to a wide range of mental health conditions. You see? So mental illness, it's a condition, and this could be, in plural, we can say mental health conditions. And these mental health conditions are disorders that affect your mood, thinking, and behavior. You see? So we are talking about three things: mood, thinking, and behavior. So examples of mental illness include depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, eating disorder, and other addictive behaviors. So all these things are in this book, what we call diagnostic and statistical mental health disorders. So for example, if I want to, if I want to, let's say, diagnose someone with depression, I can't just say, oh, Charity or James or Chisha, you have depression, you have schizophrenia. No, you have to, for you, a person has to meet certain criteria. There are criterias, you see, that are prescribed. And for you to be able to prescribe someone with depression, you have to go through the scrutiny process. First of all, you look at the biological, psychological, and the social factors, you see, that are causing, this, this impairment. For instance, let's say if someone has just lost a relative who has just died, you see, so you can't just say, oh, someone is, is going through mental health challenges. Those are stressors, you see, because of an event that has happened at that particular time. So that's what distinguishes having mental health challenges, because
so
mental health challenges,
at what point can come in to seek for help? At what point can someone come in to seek for help?
Okay, yeah. So what we normally do, for instance, like probably maybe James would agree with me. Even probably some of you have done counseling. When someone comes to you, first of all, you have to do what is called an assessment. And the assessment will help you to understand, the various events about this person, the circumstances, as well as like the social factors, including like maybe the biological situation or that has caused all these things. So first of all, you let's say you have to understand the family situations, what is going on in that person's family or personal life, So once you understand that, okay, there isn't anything that is really connected to the family, then you have to also you ask about, oh, maybe if the person is working, maybe he's having problem with the marriage or the boss, So, and also you also have to ask about the history, of men, like if anybody has, has got, any as first mental health challenges, sadness, anxiety, in the family. And all these things will help you to kind of understand what it is. And based on those, the history that you collect from an individual, it will help you to kind of determine what criteria fits within, a particular disorder. For instance, I would say if somebody comes to me and say, okay, I just ask you, okay, Charity, what has been going on? And you tell me, oh, you know what, I am, yesterday, I saw these police officers who were after me and they had these knives, they were following me. But in reality, you are in your house alone, you see? So, and then you say, oh, you know what, I saw this, this big person coming in my house, and, he wanted to arrest me, for the thing that I don't know about, or maybe someone want to take my child, they're after me, or President Trump want to take my child, all that kind of things. Then you begin to understand that, oh, this person, what he's saying is hallucinating. And also maybe someone might think, I'm a president of the United States, when you're not the president. So you begin by distinguishing, the reality to what is not the reality. So from that, I can tell someone has got some symptoms of schizophrenia, you see. But with depression, for instance, like if let's say someone who has just lost someone, you can't just go say, okay, this person has depression, because depression has got symptom, sadness, hopelessness, guilty, shame, and other things. They are like all these criteria. So we all experience sadness, but you have to look at the circumstance. Okay, what caused that sadness? So based on the, you also have to look at the duration. You see, so the duration really matters a lot. For instance, like if somebody has just lost someone in the family, like let's say like 2 weeks ago, and come to you and say, and that's why they're sad. So you can't go and prescribe depression, because that's not a mental illness. You see, if it's the duration is like over 6 months, then that become a problem, because now it's become the major depression. If it's like over a year, that becomes a persistent depression. So, and if it's less than 3 months, that becomes what we call acute stress disorder, and that acute stress disorder might be because of, let's say someone who just lost, someone in the family, as I said, and some, it can take, like a little longer for someone to, to be able to maintain that normality, or let me say the stability. So all these type of mental illnesses, they have got specific criteria that we have to learn about. So we can't just say, someone has got mental illness. If okay, someone has got mental illness, you have to state what kind of mental illness is it, you see. And for you to state that kind of mental health, there must be conditions, and those conditions, they've got criterias, and those criterias, they've got specific symptoms and the duration that must exist before you diagnose something with mental illness. So in the case of Zambia, and I do think, being a Zambian myself, we've taken mental health, lightly, and sometimes we do not know how to distinguish what mental health challenges and mental illnesses. So the only difference I can tell you, based on my own, like my little experience, I would say that mental health has conditions, but mental health challenges, they do not have conditions. We can all face mental health challenges. We can just be watching, right now, people are watching Manchester United. Someone might, let's say Liverpool, if you support Liverpool and Liverpool loses, you go through all this depression, amount of sadness because your team has lost, you see. So that's not a mental illness, because it's a mental health situation or challenge because of, your team has lost, and those can easily go away. So that's like, just because I don't want to dominate, guys, because this is like more more like, like a discussion type. So I don't want to present as if I'm doing a lecture. So you guys can probably, add, some views and perspectives and questions, that you have. So I'm gonna mute myself. Who's coming? Anyone? Chisha or James?
Chishimba, but I think when we look, I think I think the initial question was on, do we all have mental health challenges? I think the answer is yes. We in the same way that we have health challenges, like physical or medical health challenges, we do have mental health challenges. But I think in Zambia, when we consider mental health, I think generally it's been painted with uh, a negative brush, to the extent that even speaking about mental health and well-being is generally associated with mental health disorders, which have had a generally would be associated with people that we see on the streets, roaming with no homes and things like that, such that even to get somebody to admit that they may have a mental health issue or a mental health disorder is something that I think people will not generally do. And mostly it's because of that brush stroke that is generally negative. But when you really look at it, if we look at physical and medical health, right now you have seen that a lot of people are running, they are eating better, they are exercising, because we are more conscious of our medical and physical health. But when it comes to mental health, we are not yet there where we are having conversations to say, number one, mental health is something that everybody should consider. And mental health challenges do come, but how we respond to that stimuli is probably what would distinguish somebody who has mental health, mental well-being, and somebody who then could be categorized, for example, in as having a mental health disorder, either because of their reaction to stimulus, or whether it's a genetic predisposition or their reaction to a life event, or something like that. So I think when we talk about challenges, it still has a negative connotation in where we are at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
To add, just to add on what Chimba is saying, it's we are actually behind in everything, just look at how situations are handled. When maybe, let's say, somebody's depressed, people wouldn't know, like the background that the background you were giving, to say, for you to know, you have to go through, ask this person and everything. We just come and conclude. We have a lot of stigma going on. People just term everything as madness, like Chimba was saying. You can't have a problem and sought for help, like seek for help, like what are they going to think of me? What are they going to say? They are going to say, oh, this is a Chinama case. All we know, like James earlier alluded to, there is actually a very thin line, or people confuse illness to health. Like, people may not know to say anybody can be at a point where you are stressed. You have just so much, like AD said earlier, you just have a lot. Maybe you lost somebody special, someone close to you. Maybe you lost a job. Maybe it's a family issue. Maybe it's about, a relationship. Somebody said no, and then, people call you names. Oh, she's, going mad and everything, not really knowing what you are going through. So it's really, really difficult for people to seek help in such situations. We have to break the barriers. I don't know how, but like, such talks are never held, maybe once in a while, and people neglect this such an important topic. So I don't know, James, do you have anything you want to add to in relation to this situation? Because you have seen a lot, um, being a practitioner, being the person on the ground, you have seen just enough of this situation. So from your own perspective, how is it? I'll have to mute
Okay,
my.
thank you very much. So just like Edson, Shimba, and Charity have said, one thing that I would want to say is I would want to start with a question. And the question is, do we all recognize stress? That's the first question. All of us, the people that are on the call, the people that are watching us live, all of us, we've gone through some sort of stress in life. You are stressed because something is not going your way. You have exams that are coming your way. You have different types of things. So if you remember the definition that Edson gave, he said it's a way in which if you want to maintain a mental health, you are able to handle daily stressors. So that kind of stress, whenever you are dealing with it, how do you deal with your stress? If you are failing to deal stress with stress, that's when you say, I think I need help, because you need to seek someone to talk to you so that you handle that particular stress. Not only that, I would also ask a question to say, everyone would tell me that, hey, you have got some kind of fear. You are afraid of something. So whenever you're afraid of something, that in itself is a mental health challenge. So it's not something like Edson has said, doesn't mean that you are ill, you are mentally ill. No, it simply means you have a challenge because, for example, let's say we go to the Vic Falls and then we put you on the knife bridge. Some of you wouldn't stand there because you are scared of heights. So when you are scared of heights, it means that that particular element is an example of a challenge that you have mentally, but then does not culminate to you having an illness of ones that Edson gave. He gave a number of types of mental illnesses. He gave schizophrenia, he gave depression, he gave different, they are bipolar mood disorders, different types. So he gave all these and he classified them, and he said there are specific classifications because we need to do a mental status examination for us to be conclusive to say, indeed, this person is supposed to be classified and be put under a mental illness. However, these simple things I'm talking about, for example, you've simply failed an exam. You feel hopeless. You go to class, everyone else has passed, and you're the only one who's feeling bad. That is a mental challenge, mental health challenge. But then that does not culminate that you have gone away or you have a mental illness that you need already a doctor that's supposed to prescribe medication. This is what causes people to start abusing substances. For example, because people are stressed, they are failing to handle stress, they resort to misuse of substances. So when people are using substances, so misuse of substance, before it becomes worse, it is a condition that you can easily come out. But as you go further, it brings you into other conditions which are now going to lead you into a more complicated mental illness. But as you start, you can take a bottle of whiskey or glass of whiskey or 2 shots, and then you just, I know, I want to take whiskey so that I come and sleep. You sleep, the following day you are okay. You would have dealt with your stress, but that does not culminate into you being mentally ill. It just means that you are having a challenge that you need help with. So always we need to understand to say all these mental health challenges that we face, or mental health disorders, these are minor things that always occur in our daily life. Because remember to say our brain, it's like the engine that controls the entire being, and the way you interact with people, the way you do everything, you depend on your brain. So anything that affects it, it has an impact on the way you are going to be productive. So if you remember, everything deals with productivity. So whatever affects your productivity, it means that there is a challenge. But that does not culminate to you having already being fully blown mental illness. It means that you can simply handle that particular situation, and then you'll be off the situation later on. Once you are done, you are good to go. But if you feel I can't handle this, it's going beyond. So when you notice that I'm failing to handle, I'm failing to come back to my normal, to my state I was before this particular event occurred in my life, then you need someone who comes in like a psychotherapy. Because we know that now these are people that are going to help you. They'll just talk to you. They won't give you medication. They won't even take you to a doctor to say you need a doctor immediately, because that is now counseling that you are using, and it's something. Sometimes you just need exercises. You heard Eddie was saying he likes marathon. So if he does a lot of marathon, it means that his stress, whenever he's stressed, is let me run a kilometer or two or a mile or two. Once he does the 2 miles, you find he feels better. And by so doing, you'd have handled his stress, and he comes back, he takes a shower. Some people just say, I think I'm stressed. Some people, it can be heartbreaks. Maybe you've been dumped by your loved one. And then because of that, you just find yourself, you are so devastated because of feeling anger. So that particular activity, it leads you into a mental health challenge that you can handle. I think for me, I love bringing it to examples. I think, Ed, you've seen I'm bringing a lot of examples to make people understand. So at least they know that these are truly, they are different elements, and they're supposed to be well categorized. Just like the DSM-5 is well tabulated, and it gives them very well. So it's very easy for us to follow. Thank you very much.
James? We have feedback. James?
Yes? Hello? Charit, I can't get you.
Charit,
are you able to get me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, but I can't hear Charit.
I can't hear Charit neither. Charit, I can't get you.
Okay. You know, there's some sort of some feedback or some sort of you've raised so many important points. I know I'm there, but I'm able to hear you from where I think we are. Just that we had a little bit of some feedback, but we are getting you all right now. I was saying you've raised a lot of important points. You know, you work in the hospital. You see these things like, you've worked, no longer working in the hospital. You've worked in the hospital for some time, and
Hello, we can't hear you, Charit, again.
Yeah, Charit, we can't hear you.
I think, can you hear me, guys? I'm not on mute. My mic is not on mute.
Now we are hearing you.
So Chishimba, I would like to ask, you being a lawyer, you being you can't hear me? Oh my God.
No.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I was talking to Chishimba. I was actually saying you've raised a lot of important points. I'm able to hear you. I know I'm here there, but I'm able to hear you. You can't hear me again?
Charity, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you guys hear me now? Hello? I don't know what's wrong with my mic.
Charity,
can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Oh my God. Okay. Whoever can pick it up can pick it up. I don't know why you can't hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Charity, we are hearing you.
Probably she's the one who's like not hearing us.
Yes.
You can hear me.
The three of us are okay, but
I don't know
she's
why.
the one not hearing us.
They can hear you. Oh, Mtale says you guys can hear me. So, Mtale, you people watching, can you hear me? my guests cannot. Okay, I was saying, James raised a lot of important issues. So I wanted Shimba to connect because she has the more oh my goodness. I think it's the network. I don't know. I don't know. We are still trying out internet providers, you guys. And this one, I don't think, maybe it's my problem. I don't know. But Oh, you can hear us. The people are saying they can hear us. I don't know why you guys cannot hear me. Can you hear me now? AD, Shimba, James, can you hear me now?
Charity, we are hearing you loud
Okay,
and
I was
clear.
saying I wanted Shimba to connect with what James was saying, because he really touched the most happening situation. You can hear me? Oh, I'm trying to lean here so that maybe you can hear me right. Okay. Shimba, please take it up. Can you connect with what James was saying? In line with what James was saying, because he was talking about the actual situation on what is going on. Guys, the problem we have at hand is stigma. Okay? That's the problem we have. It's nothing like but stigma. So how can someone ask for help without, because James, you said, just you thinking that I'll be stigmatized is a problem already, of which I agree. But since it's the problem we have at hand, how do we settle it? How do we go about it, or how do we go around it so we can sort it out, like one step at a time? What do we do? Because I know somebody who was depressed for some time, and they were taken to Chainama. People thought that person was mad, but that person was just going through a lot of issues and ended up being taken to Chainama, and he was admitted there for some time. So how do we go around it so that we don't reach at the point where Edson was saying, which is severe? If whereby someone just is hiding in the corner, they can't voice out, they can't speak to nobody, because what do they think of me? So how are we going to deal with that?
Look, I think yes, stigma is still a very big part of our society at the moment, and yes, we have, I think, hundreds of thousands of people that are suffering in silence. But conversations such as this one are a good starting point. We have to get to the point where we can talk about mental health challenges, mental health illnesses, mental health coping mechanisms, mental health treatment and diagnosis, as though it is part of our everyday lives, because it's exactly that. There's no stigma that is attached to going to the hospital, say for to treat a cold at the moment because of COVID. I think anytime somebody's mentioning flu-like symptoms, there's a bit of an issue. But it's the same way we go to the hospital over other diseases and illnesses. If we look at mental health and mental health challenges and mental health well-being as part of our everyday life, that is when we will move away from stigma that is attached to it. And conversations such as this one are very important because they normalize the conversation. They help first of all, people get more information. We started the conversation with a definition of what mental health is and what it is not. So conversations that bring light to what mental health is and all that are very important. And look, the conversations are slow and sporadic. But I think the conversations have started happening. I know that certain students at UNZA have been very forthright with having mental health conversations. They have been running discussions and talks all over the country to try and bring awareness to mental health mental health well-being and mental health illnesses and disorders as part of the conversation. So it's really just starting with the conversation, because unless we talk about it, people will be hiding. People will not seek help from James or Edson. People will not be able to know where the help is. I think from my blog, I still get asked questions about where can I go. I think I need help. And the cost is still very high. In Zambia, the cost of seeking mental health, whether it is from the perspective of cognitive behavioral therapists or psychiatrists or psychologists generally, I think the cost of it is still very high in this country. But I think the more we normalize the conversation, the more we talk about access to help, the more I think people will be able to remove the stigma that is attached to it. I think eventually, even saying a Chinama case will not be the same as we normalize the conversation. I think that is what would help with removing the stigma. So Charity has a delay. I think she's hearing some of the things towards the end.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
She has a delay. It says she's still listening, and that's where done.
Yeah. Yeah, she has a delay. That's a problem, you know, because I don't know, like Charity, you are in America, eh? So your internet shouldn't be that poor, eh?
I was thinking maybe we could take
really
questions if we have questions from people.
that we start talking about this. We should.
You see, I think she's listening to like maybe what we said like a minute ago.
Okay, they are just participating. Do you guys at this point, do you have some questions, Mtale and the others that are watching us? Just prepare questions, and if you have questions, you can write them down. You're just contributing to what we're doing. Shinda, I'm surprised. Okay, I can't say I'm surprised because let me tell you a story. What happened? Let me tell you what happened. When we moved to this place, we just moved a little while ago, like weeks ago. So I was reading for reviews. Okay, I'm sorry. So I was looking for internet service providers in this area, and then I looked, and then I saw this 5-star one. Okay, so I pressed there, not knowing that I pressed another one. So when I said, why is this internet this slow? And then it was already too late, you guys. I actually got a number for the West. So that's the problem, I think. So next time, actually this week, we're going to fix it up because I need internet, right? So yeah, Chishimba, we have to normalize talking about this. That's how we are going to do it. We have to have people talking about this and making it just like Eddie said, it's not only in Zambia, it's also a problem here, but the rate at which Zambians perceive it is different from the way it is here. Here, when you are going through situations, you go to a counselor to say, okay, we are going through this, and people see it as normal, seeing a counselor. But like from our side, when you see a counselor, it's like there's something wrong with you, like something big going on, People in our country don't really, or I would say in Africa, because there are people that are watching, my friends I have all over there here, you guys can agree with me that this problem is not only in Zambia. The same way it's perceived in Zambia is the same way it is in other countries. People should normalize talking about problems. Okay, this is a problem. When you have a problem, you share it. There are problems, if you can't share it with this person, you can as well find somebody you are comfortable with to share. Now, my question is to you, Edson. If we have, what steps do we take in simple terms? What steps do we take if we see somebody going through a crisis? How do we help such a person? Because I believe we have these people around. People may be like the other time somebody just writes, okay, I'm going to kill myself on such and such a day. Okay, you look out for me, I'm going to die this day, I'm going to kill myself. So how, when something like that arises, how do you come in?
Yeah. So first of
I don't know
all,
if I'm clear, or
yeah. First of all, what I've seen that when someone is talking about such issues, like in Zambia, we make fun of these issues. You see, oh, like for instance, like as you have just said, I remember there was a post most recently on social media where this guy posted saying, he's gonna kill himself on January 3rd. Mm. And people, started making funny comments. And I just looked at that, that, okay, wait, what are these people talking about, So first of all, we have to understand that the cultural environment where we live in, for example, like there in Zambia, because I don't know what has changed so far. I left Zambia probably like almost 13 years ago. Yeah. So, but based on my experiences when I was there, it appears that our culture, doesn't fully recognize mental health to be a problem. It's like when you have such kind of issue, making such statement, they just think, oh, you are crazy. You see, but that's not crazy. It's not being crazy, because here we are dealing with lives. So when we are dealing with human lives, first of all, what we need to do, as Shimba already mentioned, as well as James, first of all, we need mental health literacy. When people first understand what mental health really is, because I would say that maybe the half of the Zambian people are kind of like illiterate when it comes to mental health. So we need to go out there and understand that, just like Shimba said, when we have these challenges, it's normal. For instance, like just as we go to, let's say, you go to the hospital, have a broken bone, you need to be, healed, like you need to have your bone fixed. This problem can also be fixed. So when we see someone making such statements, first of all, I would suggest that we need to have the crisis hotline in Zambia. And these are some of the things we can advocate for. For instance, like for people like Shimba, for you guys who are working there in as lawyers, you need to advocate for this. We need what is called a hotline. For instance, like in the United States, for instance, if I see someone making such statements, guess what? I call 911. That, oh, there's this person. And 911 crisis.
they'll take it seriously, yeah.
So that is a very, very important step to begin with, because sometimes, like, I can have someone, like, have all these mental health challenges, but if they do not have easy access, to where they can call, it's very difficult even to assist people. And second, if someone approach you immediately, there are so many people, for instance, like counseling centers, like there in Zambia, probably, like maybe you can refer that person for immediate assistance. You see, and I know that there are NGOs that are kind of working with those kind of people on a pro bono basis, right? If not mistaken, yeah. So we need to reach out to those people and help those people, because we say prevention is better than cure. You can prevent that crisis just by reporting someone. Say, oh, this person is in crisis. How can we help him? So But for us to be able to achieve all these things, as I said, first of all, we need education, psychoeducation about mental health. We have to understand that it's a national crisis that is not only embedded in Zambia as a nation, but also in our culture. For instance, if you're a man, you know, there's this masculinity and femininity issues, you see, where a man is considered to be very strong. You're not supposed to be depressed. And the woman is considered, you know, like to be weak in society. You know, they can cry and do whatever, all that kind of things. So those gender gaps also need to be fixed. You see, we have to understand that a man can cry as much as a man. You see, and mental health doesn't discriminate based on the gender. You see, so when we deal with, you know, the issue of culture, and within this umbrella of culture, we deal with the issue of gender. We understand that, you know, both, you know, male and female, they encounter these issues. Then we can kind of also try to bring this mental health literacy as a whole and teach them what mental health is, what mental health illnesses are, and what challenges and conditions need to be done before this can be done. And I think that is a very important step to begin with. Right now, you know, I would say that we shouldn't even be talking about treatment. You see, when people don't understand the condition itself, you see, someone has to, you know, for you to be able to, like even to do all these, like, you know, like psychosocial interventions. First, we need to let these people know exactly what these conditions are for them even to have access to those kind of treatment that are available. Even medication, because some of the, you know, like schizophrenia, bipolar, you know, they have got medication. For instance, like for mood, there's we use, like, you know, what you call lithium, you know, and schizophrenia, there's Prozac, you know, and Xanax and some other kind of medication that are available, even, like, you know, to but to do this, we need to make sure that the people who are even, like, we're now diagnosing those conditions, they are professionals, you know, who understand the criteria, because you don't want to give someone a label, you know, that they do not have, and that requires special training. And for you to have that, you know, special training, you know, you need to have some kind of, you know, maybe have taken like courses or maybe even like workshops, so that people become more acquainted with what mental health conditions are. And I think that's a very important step to begin with. I would say just education right now. When we have that education, then we're gonna know how to deal with, you know, like the treatment and other things.
Sorry, everyone, I drop off very soon. Unfortunately, I have to just attend to some. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Hello?
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 What's happening?
Oh my God.
I can hear you.
James, you can hear
Chishimba,
me?
I can hear you. I can hear Edson.
Yeah, I can also hear you now.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately, I will have to drop off very soon. I think
Okay. Chimba, you wanted to say something? Okay, before you guys say anything, Mutale wants to know, before you, Chimba, you come in, Mutale wants to know the best way to improve mental health. But I want you guys to put that in mind, but you can go ahead, Chimba.
actually saying I need to drop off.
Did you hear me, guys?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, Chimba said she want to go, right?
Yeah. Okay, no problem. We want to thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll get in touch with you, okay, just after the broadcast.
Okay,
thank you so much.
I need to now just attend to something quite urgently. Thank you. All right, thanks.
Thank you, Chimba.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Yeah, so I was saying, Mutale, we have a
Hello.
Okay, so Mutale is asking the best ways to improve mental health. What is it? How can one improve mental health, mental well-being? That's what the question is.
Yeah, so there are some of the things that I can suggest. And first of all, you need to talk about.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
I'm getting you.
Oh, yeah. So she asked the question, how can we improve like the mental health? You know, so for me, this is what I would say. First of all, you need to talk about your feelings. Talk about your feelings can help you to stay in good mental health and deal with times when you feel troubled. And second is to keep active. For instance, regular exercise can boost your self-esteem and can help you to concentrate, sleep, and feel better. Exercise keeps the brain and your other vital organs healthy, and is also significant benefit towards improving your mental health. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm getting you, Eddie.
Okay. I think we must have lost Charity, right?
No, she's there. It's only that I think she, as we said, that she has a delay in her network. That has continued.
Okay, yeah. So
yeah, I have a delay, but I can hear you guys. You just have to carry on. And when I have something, I'll.
Okay, so let me just finish, like those, and so I'm saying the best way to improve your mental health is first talk about your feelings to others, and say,
I'm actually here. I'm here. When you lose me, it means it will go off. I'm here. It's just a little, yeah, I'm here.
So the best thing to do is to talk about your feelings. So talking about your feelings can help you to stay in good mental health and deal with times when you feel you feel troubled. And second suggestion would be to keep active. So regular exercise can boost your self-esteem and can help you to concentrate, sleep, and feel better. So exercise keeps the brain and other vital organs healthy, and it is also significant benefits toward improving your mental health. And the other aspect, eating well is also very important. So your brain needs a mixture of nutrients in order to stay healthy and function well. Just like the other organs in your body, a diet that is good for your physical health is also good for your mental health. And I would also say drink sensibly. We drink alcohol to change our mood. Some people drink to deal with fear or loneliness, but the effect is only temporary. So when the drink wears you off, you feel worse because of the way the alcohol has affected your brain and the rest of your body. Drinking is not a good way to manage difficult, feelings or situations. And also, the other aspect is asking for help. None of us is, are superhuman. We all sometimes get tired or overwhelmed by how we feel or when things don't go as planned. If things are getting too much for you and you feel you can't cope, ask for help. Your family or friends may be able to offer practical help or listen to you whenever you are in those difficult situations. And most important thing, accept who you are. So we are all different as individuals, you know. So I'm not the same as Charity. I'm not the same as James. So it's much healthier to accept that you are unique than you wish you were more like someone else. Feeling good about yourself boosts your confidence to learn new skills, visit new places, and make new friends. So, and it's also good for, it's a good self-esteem that can help you cope with life situations. So these are just some of the few things that I would say would kind of like help you to improve your mental health situation. There are millions of other things that we can do, and I know each one of you, maybe James might, you know, add some more of those. Hello?
Actually, I don't even want to add more. I think you've covered well. You've said, you've talked about nutrition.
Oh yes, we can
You've talked
hear
about
you.
exercise.
We can hear you,
And
James.
then
Are you
you
there?
have sleep. Rest is also important. And then just having a balance and sharing, seeking help from other people. I think you've put it very well. I like the way you came out, and I think it is it's good for all of us. So I think it's good, because that is exactly how you go, because you know it deals with the sleep, eating well, exercising, because most of the time people don't like exercising, and that is also, it has got an impact on our mental status. And then people having not to socialize with people that care about them, they also have an impact on our mental status. Not having adequate rest also has got an impact, because I think as you said, alcohol or any other drug use is something that would it wouldn't be very helpful, because if you do that, you're actually depriving yourself of sufficient sleep. So all that has got an impact on ourselves. So it's something that is important, and make sure that you balance your life, and then mental health improves.
Okay, that's great. Mutale is satisfied with the answer. You know, the way we take care of our everything around us that concerns our body, I think is the same way we have to take care of our health, our mental health. Just like, you know, you would get malnourished if you don't eat, you know, the same way, if you have to take care of your mental health, like you guys have alluded to, you have to talk. You know, if you are going through something, talk about it, share it, go see new places. You know, it's good for you. Do things that maybe you would only do when you were with other people. You can do that, and just to keep yourself sane, you know, just in addition to what you guys have said. Otherwise, like we were saying, instead of someone helping that situation to say, I'm going to kill myself on such and such a day, people now are saying, no, kill yourself, we are waiting, hey, we are doing what? So you have to again walk away from negative energy, walk away from those things that bring your morale down. You know, you may know, I have a lot of friends. It's not every friend I can go to for help. I know to say, this person I can go to for this person I can go to for that. You always have someone. You need to surround yourself with the positive people that are positive, people that are not always throwing shade, you know. So it's actually like, AD, you use the words to say it's objective. You know, it's, you can't really say it's this. So every situation differs, but in as much as every situation may differ, we have to have the same intervention. You have to be, let people around you, if you have somebody you live with suddenly changes, to say, oh, they started behaving a certain way, you have to take keen interest in understanding, why has this person been behaving this of late? what is causing this. We have to have interest in, showing like we are interested, we love these people. Because if we push someone to say, oh, I'm going to kill myself this day, and then people are everywhere celebrating, oh, we want to see you die, they are mocking, sometimes it's not because that person really wants to kill themselves. It's because of the things that they are going through. Like they are depressed, they are stressed, they don't see the light. They don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. So what do you resort to killing yourself if you are not that strong? Some people come out strong of these situations, others cannot. So if you are somebody who is around these people, just notice some changes. You can notice, James, this is not the way you are. What's wrong? Be approachable. Let people run to you for help if they had something to, they were going through issues. So that's just what I wanted to add on to what you guys were saying. Otherwise, everything has been said. We cannot, remove. Like I noted some stuff that's really have to be dealt with, like the hotline. Of course, we don't have a hotline. We really have to have a hotline, just the way, there is, if you want to talk about something, there are people that don't want you to see them, but if they just got a phone and called, and saying, I want to talk to somebody, they're not seeing the other person is not seeing them, so there's that confidentiality there already. So because some people may not trust offloading their issues to someone face to face, so they may want to use the phone. So, okay, let me call this hotline and talk to whoever is going to be there. So for me, like people that are on the ground, people that I know a voice, it may seem as, one step at a time. Every place for me should have this hotline, like, as especially in our country, we really need to advocate for this, though Shimba has gone, so yeah, that's what I noted from what you guys were here about saying. I don't know if my
Hello. Yeah, so
yes, Edson, I'm getting you.
What I wanted to say that especially like people like you, James, who are working in the hospitals, yeah, so and you should be the probably advocate for this type of services, and it's not even like a very expensive services, that the government of Zambia can do that, you see, easily, without any difficulties. So crisis center can help, like to kind of attend to immediate crisis situation that may come, or which there may be a person can encounter. No, some people, they would just maybe want someone to speak with, probably that's probably would be the end of the story. In Zambia, we say we are the Christian nations, and probably we should be able to understand that, by now that, even in the Bible, Jesus once said that in the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28, he said, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and have heavy ladens, and I will give you rest." You see? So even in the Bible, Jesus talked about these people who are facing these challenges, the burdens, that people have, and what are those burdens, that are inside you, and that's mental health challenges. I know when these burdens become so heavy, it becomes now an impairment. You see, an impairment, it becomes a condition. And I believe that as Zambians, for you Zambians living in Zambia, and as Zambians, us living in diaspora, we can connect and see how we can help, to deliver this information. And For me, you know, most of the time, like I've been very open, you know, sometimes I post about all these, you know, like on my Facebook page, and I'm more into research, you know, into all these aspects of mental health. And that's how we come to find out all these issues. For instance, right now, I'm doing like a research on health disparities, you saw, like in Zambia. So what we find that the element of mental health is not even included in the research, you know. So for instance, there's this, I don't know if you are familiar with the research, there's what they call demographic and health survey. So this is like the worldwide survey that is called, that is sponsored by the USAID. So they do all this kind of research like HIV, tuberculosis, nutrition, but domestic violence, but mental health is completely left out, you see, in the bigger picture. So if it's left out, so how are the people going to understand that aspect of, you know, like mental health? So not only even as us as researchers do we need to approach mental health in a different way, but people like you in practice, you also need to come, you know, in forefront to understand that mental health remains a national challenge and it needs immediate fix. And that fix come with the education, as I said, psychoeducation, 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 psychoeducation. And that's like a keyword, you know, a password for us to be able to understand, you know, because we need to get to the root or the basic alphabetic order, you know. We need to learn the ABCD of mental health, you know, before we can know how we can know how to read or understand it. So right now we are lacking, you know, the basics because we don't even know the, you know, the alphabet of mental health. How can we fix these problems? So let's get to the basic first, and once we do that, then we'll be able to achieve the greater things, you know. And you know, just like you are building a house, you start with the foundation. And right now I can see that in Zambia we don't even have the foundation of mental health, you see. So we need to start from the foundation, and from there then build slowly until we reach to the, you know, to the roof level. So right now we just need to the basic. And how can we do the basic? And that's just like to reach out to the people, to tell them that mental health is not the way with, you know, the society, you know, prescribe it. You see, mental health is just a, you know, like a normal condition, and everyone can be affected in one way or the other. And that will help us to remove the stigma. Or let me say, sometimes we just say a stigma, but it's also a discrimination, because when we are, these people are stigmatized, you see, they also tend to be discriminated in the society when it comes to employment and other issues, because they think that they cannot be, you know, be able to function. And what do we expect? People, you know, they are carrying these burdens, you know, that needs to be shared. You know, as Jesus said, "Come unto me, all you have labored and have heavy burdens, for I'll give you rest." So it's up to us, you know, to step up and tell those people that we are going to take this issue very seriously. We are going to approach it with more empathic understanding, you know. And when we do that, then people will be able to come, you know, to us, trusting us that we are not going to betray them, you know, by sharing all these issues and so on and so forth.
Yeah, actually, Edson, you bring out a very important point. When you look at public health policy, like the policies that have been passed, and I think because of the support that we get, the donor support that our country faces, we always have this tendency to go towards the interest of the conditions or diseases that are of a challenge. And even in the demographic health survey, as you said, we go towards those particular elements. So there are some things that we leave out, and mental health it's really a neglected situation. Just like in the past in Zambia here, we had neglected a lot of non-communicable diseases. But as we are seeing them now, we are beginning to see the need for us to really focus and start also attending to them. And mental health is one of those conditions or those characteristics that we need to go towards. And I want to appreciate Charity. I want to appreciate yourself, Edson, because you guys are really doing a good job. And that's why you're bringing up these discussions, because we are the future of this country. So if we are the future, we are the people that can bring the change. You see something that is done better, and then you say we come home and we try and implement, or we try and push so that there is an agenda for something. Anything to go into the agenda, you identify a problem first. And once we identify, we are the people that can speak. So all the people that are on the call, the people that are listening to us, you are part and parcel of the people that can voice out to say, I think it's necessary that as in our country, we need to have a foundation, as Edson has said, we need to have something, we need to say something that will just push activities towards mental health in order for all of us to balance and make sure to say we continue to being productive, because it is very critical that we don't leave out mental health in our day-to-day life, as it speaks to productivity. And Zambia being a small country, a country that wants to develop, we cannot run away from mental health activities or awareness that is going to improve ourselves. So it's a good thing, and I agree with you, and I really appreciate Charity. This is a good community service that you're doing, because you are sensitizing the people, and you have Zambia at heart. Edson, thank you for coming through. You are our own clinician. You are our own doctor that is there, and you are able to talk to us about these things. So truth be told is there is no better way these things can be done. All of us that are in public health, we know to say things can only move if there's a voice that is behind. So once these voices are pushed, we can change, because in future, you, me, we are the people that will be in leadership when the leaders leave, because we are not going to remain like this. One day you find there are people, it might not be directly ourselves, but there will be other people that may come, and they'll be there in leadership. They will hear to say, I think there is need for us to attend to these particular things that we are left out, and then they'll be picked up.
And
thank you very much. Otherwise, I really appreciate it.
These are very important discussions. I know this is the beginning. We can actually find somebody when we can do something better, like we can get all the platforms connected nicely, and maybe we get somebody from authority. It could be somebody, just these people, even the MPs, as they are standing, they have to tell us what they will do. People have to say what they are going to do. Are they going to advocate for this as they go to parliament, so that at least at some point we have something allocated for such? Like Edson said, these are not programs that cost a lot. Government spends a lot of money on issues that really don't hold water most times, that are not important. So when you have such an important situation, or people are dying, people are committing suicide, like every time, people are killing one another. We just want to call them killers. We just want to call them, these people, like they are killing themselves. We are calling them names, but behind those things, we don't know what's going on, and so if we have something set aside, just to have a hotline, just something so that someone can just go, oh, I'm in trouble, I needed to speak to somebody. There are times we've all gone through some phases in life when all you want is to talk to somebody, and then at most times people find that there's nobody to talk to. James, like you've said, this is a very important topic. Yes, we have our country at heart. We have, that's, when we see something, we say, oh, I wish this, were happening back home. So let's put this one as the beginning of many discussions to hold, like, so we also want to thank you for coming through. I also want to thank Eddie, because I know he's busy finalizing his studies right now. How is it going? How is it going, Eddie? How are we nearing? I know, actually I have to congratulate you, James, and everybody else. Eddie did a publication recently, and I was so glad. Like, he's having our name on there. I'm like, okay, so this is, that's a Zambian name, a Zambia representing us. And I was so proud. So even as you study helping people, you also set aside time to come and talk to us, which is very, very important. And I'm so grateful. Yeah. Did you want to say anything?
Me?
Yeah,
Hello?
would you like to say anything? Yeah. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah. So right now, as Charity was saying, like, although I've been very far away from Zambia, like, as I said, I left like 13 years ago. Like, almost like in my early, when I just finished high school, just like, like, yeah, not long time since I finished high school. That's when I left Zambia. So it's although I've been in diaspora for quite a long time now, like, but Zambia is still my home, and I'm going to be a Zambian, and whatever we can do to help Zambia, I'm usually available, and some of the things that we do, like I do help like a lot of students that can help, especially when it comes to education, so with any information, source of information and other things. So that's like the other thing that I've been involved in. Right now I'm doing like 3 research paper that I'm writing about Zambia. I got to know the information, the data from National Demographic and Health Survey about Zambia, and so it will be probably by the end of April. It should be ready for publication. So I'm more focusing on Zambia, and I'm also doing a grant writing, right now about like, so that I can have access. I can do like mental health research in Zambia. So if it's successful and fully funded, then I'll probably take my maybe 2 or 3 months journey to Zambia, to kind of do mental health research, because everything begins with research, and it's us researchers, who provide the information that all these like practitioners like James, they can be able to use. You see, so
yes, yeah,
so much hopeful about Zambia, and Zambia is always part of me, and I'm proud to be a Zambian, and I represent Zambia in every aspect. So you guys, whenever you have like anything about mental health, or you want to ask anything about like schools, maybe how to apply for the scholarships and other things, I can probably tell you what to do, whether you meet the requirements or you don't meet the requirements, because I've been in this game for a long time. So I'm an open book.
Yeah, you are actually. And it's just so surprising. I don't know why us Africans are unlimited to Zambia, because we are the same. I don't know why information is just so hard to grasp. Most times people just want to be handed things like this. Oh, here, this is, I've given you this, I've given you this. People do not want to go through the process. We've been actually singing about the same thing the whole time. So even when we are talking about such important topics, like mental health, which is a worry, like really, it is a worry to me, and it's such discussions should just carry on. People should be able to talk about this more often, so that it's normal, it's normalized. People see it as just the same way people talk about HIV now. You're not going to stigmatize somebody right now, because the level of stigma has really gone down. Why? Because of a lot of sensitization that have been going on. People have the knowledge, people have been told not to do this, what to do and what not to do. Mama, you're making noise. So
So,
sorry.
Ellen.
It's here. Yeah, so stigma most times it kills a lot of people, and it's stigma that is killing depressed people too. So it's really, really important that people know. There were at some point people were not coming out in the open that they are HIV positive, but now we have a lot of people coming out in the open to say, no, I'm positive, no, I'm this. It's because of the education that has gone in. James, you are in the NGO sector now. You have both private and public, the non-governmental and the public sectors. You've been in both, so just how keen these non-governmental organizations are. But then you only work in line with what your organization does. So like Eddie was saying, you are the best people to advocate for this in the in government. There are times when we go to these public forums, you are invited. That's a chance to talk about such things, or even small talks like we're having right now. So as many as possible, if people can be talking about this all the time, because the rate of these things, the way they are happening, is just so alarming. Just this week alone, I've read about 3 stories. I don't know, I haven't really been active on the internet, on Facebook, but I've actually read about 3 stories, and that means a lot are happening. How about those people that are not documented, those stories that are not documented, those people that are unable to talk to somebody who can tell somebody, who can let the media know. So it's really, really something that has to start from the grassroots, going up there. Why I say the leaders, the people in leadership, we are able to get in touch with the counselors. So when people are getting into office, they want you to vote for them. They have to say, like, this is the time for us to push it, to say, what are you going to do about this as you stand? It's something like an agenda. Somebody can say, okay, maybe I can try and push this for it to reach parliament, something like that. But all in all, I'm just saying level of sensitization just has to go up, because I can't say it has started. Not even the Ministry of Health itself is able to, to take up this vigorously, like, they should. So, gentlemen, I would really like to thank you for coming. I know we've had a fruitful discussion, and I'm sure a lot of people that have been here, I've learned 1 or 2 things. I know a lot of people were contributing here on the. Are you able to see? I don't know if you guys are able to see, or it's only me.
No,
It's only me. Yeah, people are just. Yeah, people are just contributing to what we were saying, and which is good that people at least know to say this problem is there, just that people can't come out. So now that they know, and you guys have given the background, you've given how people should know about this, how should they go about how to identify and everything else. So unless there's anything else to add on.
Yeah. So one other thing I would just say, that because now, like others say, like mental health, it's kind of a broad um topic,
Yeah, it is.
and it's not something that we can talk about just like in one conversation like this, because there are a lot of things that we can kind of like dissect into smaller pieces, you see. So right now, just what we just
Yeah.
talked, just like a drop, just like a drop in the ocean, just like to introduce.
Yeah, it's just a drop. Yeah, that's
Mm,
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, so
that's
I'm
right.
probably I don't know, James, yeah, probably I should be leaving like in 5 minutes from now, because I have to go, and do my, I train,
No, we
like,
actually
mm,
can.
mm,
Okay, thank you
We
very
actually
much. Thank
can,
you very
and
much for the people that have been following us,
probably we
and
can
we
just,
appreciate everyone for coming through.
yeah,
And
mhm.
thank you, Edson. Thank you, Charity.
yeah.
And I
Thank
think
you
even
so much.
myself, I think I'm saying, because there's even something that I'm about to start saying. So I was almost saying, I think I need to go because I've got something I'm supposed to do before I sleep.
Okay.
Oh yes. Yes, yes. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you. You know what? Like Eddie, let me just say this quickly. Like Eddie has said, this is just like a drop. So probably some other time, you guys, I'll call on you. We have to choose another topic concerning the theme, mental health, so we can talk about it. And maybe this time we will try and add on some other platforms that people can join in, and maybe probably when AD is not very busy, so that we can do it in the morning, later or some other time, not now, some other time we'll talk about it, so that at least we can do it in the morning, that so that people are still awake everywhere, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yes. So otherwise, with those things, I would like to thank you so much, James. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming. And AJ, thank you so much. I know you are busy right now, because I know you. When I text you, you can reply there and then. So when I see there's a delay and say, oh no, it's that time of the year, he's very, very busy. So I understand. I really, really appreciate you coming. That shows how much you love us, and your country. So thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Yeah. Have a good night there,
And thank
and
you so much for everybody
good
I
luck.
have a
who came.
wonderful day,
Thank you,
Eddie.
guys.
Yeah. Mm. Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Oh, thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. Thank you so much to you all that came in. Like we've been talking mental health. If you haven't been here the whole time, you can actually go back and play backwards. I don't know if it's possible for you to do that. Thank you so much for those of you that shared. Queen Daisy, Faye, you guys are keeping up with my family. You guys, thank you so much. Oh, I can see my young brother watching. Thank you so much, Kabosha. Thank you so much, Jessica. All you guys that came in, I would love to thank you. Let's take care of our health, okay? Let's care of our mental health. Sometimes we may not know that what these problems we go through can do. So let's take care of, if you see that you're going through a lot, you cannot comprehend, you cannot handle, speak out, reach out to somebody. that can be of help instead of just digesting everything that you have within yourself. So this is a very fruitful discussion that we've had. If you haven't, you were not here before, please just, you know, start from where it started until now. From me and everybody else that was on the panel, would like to thank you guys for coming, and make sure you look out for those people in your circles. Okay, people may be going through a lot and you may not know, you know, people may be going through a lot, but when you know some changes in somebody that you know is always active, is always chatty, you see that they are, you know, not the same way they are, you can actually reach out to them and be available, show them that you are trustworthy, they can actually rely on you. We have to, you know, we have alarming cases of suicidal suicides, you know, people are killing themselves because of certain issues they are going through, but we can prevent that. We can prevent that. Let's stop the stigma to say when someone reaches out to you for help when they are depressed, that no, he's going mad, this person is going mad. That's what happens in Africa, you know. But we have to know that there are people that are strong that can comprehend stuff. There are people that are not strong at all. So we have to know what people we are surrounded with, and how when they see something going, or when you notice something, some changes, you're able to reach out. So guys, this is just what we're talking about, mental health. Please take care, just like you take care of your health, eat well, you know, exercise, take care of your health. Entertain some thoughts, but do not entertain them for long because they may send you into depression. You may get stressed, but you know, stress comes and goes. So if you know that you can't go through it alone, reach out to someone. Reach out no matter what. If you feel like you can't talk, you know, just go anonymous, and you know, and just find time to talk to somebody. So this is a discussion that we've had about mental health. Something prompted us to talk about it because of the alarming cases we've had, you guys. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming. And from me, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do subscribe and be part of this, okay, as we change the world one step at a time. Okay, so just subscribe, like, and share this topic. I think this is a topic worth sharing, guys. Share with your friends, share with your family. You know, you may just help one or two people. Depression is real, guys. Mental health is real. Like we discussed, do not confuse mental health to mental illness, you know. Yeah, so do not forsake people that are going through mental health crisis. You know, you love them, give them the love they need, be with them, you know, just as you would, you know, you would love somebody to be with you, and just encourage you. So from me, it is thank you, and please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, okay? And share. I just want this message to go to as many people as possible. Thank you so much, you guys. And don't forget to like the video, and share. Thank you. Want to say bye? My co-host, you want to say bye? Do you want to say bye? You want to say bye, mommy? Yeah. What do you want? Why do you want to walk? You want my watch? I have to go now, mommy. I have to turn this off. Yeah? Yeah? Thank you so much, you guys. If you're just tuning in, please, you can play back The discussion is over. About to go now. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe and share the video. The content is very, very beneficial to everybody. Thank you so much, guys. Bye. What are you doing?